Hello friends, in this video tutorial let us see the concept of transactional replication in SQL Server. So for this let us go over here in SSMS. Now we have got two instances. There is SQL Server Server 1 2014 and Server 2 2014. In our example for transactional replication, we will use Server 1 as the publisher and we will use Server 2 as the subscriber. Also, the Server 1 will also have the distribution database. Okay, so let us go over here. Let us right click publication and replication and configure distribution. Let us click next. Okay, so we will want this particular instance to host the distribution database. So click next. This is the folder in which the snapshot will be placed. In transactional replication, initially one snapshot will be created and placed in this folder. With the help of this snapshot, the subscriber will be initialized. Okay, and then after that there won't be any snapshot getting created. Okay, after that only the differential transactions will be tracked. Now this initial snapshot will be created with the help of snapshot agent, and then after this first snapshot is generated and with the help of this snapshot the subscriber has been initialized, after that only the incremental transactions will be tracked with the help of log reader agent, and log reader agent will transfer all these net transactions from the publisher to the distribution database, and from the distribution database this delta or incremental transactions will be applied to the subscriber by the distributor agent. Okay, so there will be three agents which will be playing role. First one is the snapshot agent, second is the log reader agent which reads the incremental transactions from publisher and puts them in distribution database, and third is the distributor agent which will read the incremental transactions from the distribution database and apply them to the subscriber. So this particular folder is required as part of the first agent, and that is the first agent is snapshot agent. Okay, so let us click next. Let the name of the distribution database be distribution. Click next, 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 and finish. Okay, so distribution database has been configured. Okay, fine. Now let us go to replication. Let us create a new publication. Now as for this example, we want transactional replication. So let us first of all select the database for which we want to set the transactional replication. It will be db_test. Next, as for this example, we want to set up the transactional replication. So we will select transactional publication. So click next. We want the table for the articles. We want tables to be replicated. Now over here it is very important to note that only those tables are selected, auto selected by this wizard when we click over here. Okay, only those tables are auto selected which have got primary key. So the tables that do not have primary key cannot become part of transactional replication. Okay, so in our case, flight, reservation, sales underscore data, table 2 and tbill underscore products, all these tables do not have primary key, so they won't be part of our transactional replication. Only these tables which have got a tick mark, only they have primary key and they will become part of the transactional replication. Also, if you want to further do any modifications with respect to any of the attributes for the selected articles, you can go over here and modify them as per your requirements. Click next. We don't want to apply any filters for the records in the table, so let us click next. Now over here in the snapshot agent, we only need to create the first initial snapshot. So let us click here. Okay, we do not need to schedule the snapshot agent to run periodically, right? Because we just want to create the first snapshot okay, and that first snapshot we will use to initialize the subscriptions. Okay, so create the snapshot immediately and keep the snapshot available to initialize subscription. Okay, next. Now let us provide the security. Now, although it is not a recommended security best practice, but for the purpose of this example, we will use SQL Server Agent Service Account. Next. Give a proper name to this publication. So we will say DB underscore test is the database name, and transactional PUB publication. So publication has been created. Now there are no subscriptions to it. So let us go to the second instance. Let us go to local subscriptions, right click and new subscription. Okay, so on which server is the subscription lying? So let us select SQL Server, find SQL Server Publisher, and let us go and specify the server on which the subscription is lying. Oh, sorry, the publication is lying. Okay, so we will select server 1. Next. So it is showing that on server 1 there is a publication with this name DB underscore test underscore transactional underscore publication, right? So let us click next. Okay, in this case we will use the pool subscription, that is the distributor agent will run on the subscriber. Okay, so the distributor agent will run on subscriber and pull the data from the distribution database and apply the transactions on the subscriber. Okay, click next. Okay, now we can see over here there is no database over here, right? So that's why let us create a new database on the subscriber. Let us give it a proper name, DB underscore test underscore transactional underscore replication. Okay, so this database is nothing but DB underscore test database, and it has been created due to transactional replication, right? Okay, next. If you want, you can even add more subscribers over here. Okay, even after the whole setup is complete, even after that you can add any new subscriber in the same way as we are adding this particular subscriber. Okay, next. Okay, now although it is not a recommended security based practice, but for the purpose of this example we will use SQL Server Agent Security Account. Okay, click next. Okay, next. Now this is very important. What is the synchronization schedule? So that is we want to specify over here the schedule for distributor agent. Okay, and what we want the distributor agent to run continuously. Okay, we want the distributor agent to see continuously if there is any change in the published by the publisher in the distribution database, and if there is any change, then just go and pick that change, pick that incremental transaction and apply it to the subscriber. Okay, so click next, and this is with respect to the initial snapshot. Do we want to generate it immediately? Yes. Okay, next, and initialize immediately? Yes. So now subscription is also ready. So our setup for transaction replication is complete. Okay, so let us see what has happened. Okay, so this particular subscriber has been created. Okay, and same can be visible over here. Refresh. Okay, so this is the subscriber that has been created. Okay, now if you go to the database, we can see that all the tables which had got the primary key have been replicated. Okay, now let us go to the base table. Okay, so let us go to this table, edit. Okay, so in the publication database, okay, there is this base database from where the data is getting published. In that there is a table called table 1 in which there are records from 1 to 5. Now let us go to the subscriber part. Okay, so this is our subscription instance. Go to table 1, right click, select. Okay, So we can see there are 5 records. Okay, now let us go and add the 6th record over here. Okay, and the 6th record has been added. There was some time delay, okay, because the 3 agents have to work. The 2 agents have to work. The log reader agent has to read this transaction, okay, that has occurred. That is, we entered the 6th row. So the log reader agent has to read this incremental transaction and put the transaction in the distribution database. From there, the distribution agent has to read this incremental transaction and apply it to the subscriber. That's why there was some delay. Okay, but at the end, the 6th record has moved to the subscription database. Similarly, let us add the 7th. So we can see after some time the 7th record will be available. See, now it is available. Okay, so the 7th record is now available. Let us put the 8th, 9th and 10th records. 9th and 10. Okay, so 8, 9 and 10, all records have come. So now the transactional replication is working absolutely perfectly in this particular setup. Now let us see what is happening behind the screens, right? Okay, so let us go to launch replication monitor. Okay, so basically what is happening, see the status, it is showing all in green status. Okay, so basically what is happening, initially the snapshot had run and applied the snapshot to the subscriber, right? That was the first part. Now over here, if you come to the agents, okay, you can find snapshot agent. So this had ran only once, okay, and based on this snapshot, the subscription was initialized. That is, the subscription database was initialized. After that, only the log reader agent is running. See, this is showing completed status, and it had run only once. The iteration is only once, whereas it is showing running status. So it is continuously running. Basically, right from the time when it started, it is continuously running. Okay, that is the this one is the log reader agent, right? So log reader agent is continuously running. It is searching for the new incremental transactions, and it is running since 6 minutes and 22 seconds. Okay, fine. So now this particular, once log reader agent has read the transactions from the publication database to the, and put those transactions into the distribution database, after that the subscriber, okay, once this has happened, okay, this is log reader agent. Okay, once that has happened, the distribution agent has to pick up those transactions and apply to the subscriber. Okay, and this also we have asked to run continuously. Okay, so that's why this particular distribution agent is also running continuously and looking for the transactions in the distribution database. Okay, so this is the way all these things are happening, okay, behind the screens. If you want to test the whole thing, what is the latency, you can also go to tracer tokens. You can just click here, insert tracer, and it will show you what is the latency at all stages. So okay, so the total latency is 0.06, right? Because from the publisher to distributor there was latency of 0.4, and from distributor to subscriber there was latency of 0.2, so totally 0.6. This latency value may change. If you insert another token, then it may have a different value, maybe a lesser value, right? And see over here, now it is having a lesser value, so it is 0.202 and totally 0.4 latency, right? So there will definitely be some latency in case of transaction replication, but that is but generally speaking, you will have almost all the transactions, if you configure in this way, that is allow the log reader agent and the distribution agent were running continuously, then you will and if the network is quite good, then you will have almost all the transactions that have occurred on the main database replicated to the secondary database. Okay, fine. So I hope friends this video tutorial on transactional replication is useful to you. Thank you.